Well, it's all about romance here on the Moll Anderson Show, so who better to have here than the first romance to spawn from the hit show American Idol, the American alum Diana DeGarmo and Ace Young, who now host Planet 360, and they're in the Moll House.
Yeah. We're happy to be here.
We're the first couple to come out as a couple. How about that?
Yeah, exactly.
As a couple. And you're the first couple to be here.
Definitely.
In the house. For me.
Yeah.
Yes. So I'm so honored.
I'm pretty sure that once we get married, we'll definitely have our own little level from American Idol, because we will definitely be the first two American Idols to get married.
Yeah.
So when's the big day?
June. So only a few
June
weeks
bride.
away. I know.
Yeah.
I tried to make it easy for him because my wonderful man here is not very good with dates.
No?
And I said June is also the month I was born, so it's my birthday. Just get to June and know you have to just give a present in June. You don't even have to know what it is. Just June.
Are we keeping the date secret? Is that kind of the idea?
Yeah.
And we're celebrating in June every year. So June is
well, that works out.
It's Christmas in June.
It's Christmas number 2
yes,
every year.
But usually you want to kind of spread those dates out so you can be celebrating all the time, right?
I was trying to be efficient because otherwise it'd be 2 months later and be like, didn't we have something last week? Yeah.
Oh no, I will never do that.
Something tells me that a guy that would go to as much trouble as he did to get engaged the way that he did to you, I mean, that took a lot of planning. So I have an idea that he's much better at remembering things than you think.
Yes. He has definitely changed since we began dating and since we've met. It's very funny. He recently said, Valentine's Day is the same day every year, right? And I was like,
I love that.
Yeah. And so
I'm learning.
So this year we celebrate.
I think you're trying to get her to buy into this.
No,
I don't buy into this
serious,
whatsoever.
With a big family, everybody has a birthday,
right.
Every year, and you're going through it. And I have 3 people just in my family that have the same month birthday.
Sure.
So we celebrated it all together on one Sunday growing up.
Okay.
So we always consolidated everything. Otherwise, someone felt like they were left out, or you'd say it on the wrong day. And now I truly understand the importance of the actual dates.
The day.
With this, but if we go and adopt 30 kids or something,
yes.
they're getting their birthday on the same day.
Oh no! Now,
I'm like, come on, guys.
Usually, with the more children that you have, you really need to take the time to make each of them feel special. And my gosh, if you end up with twins, you really, what are you going to do the 2?
Never sleep.
I'm
pretty much.
Well,
but have a blast. Are you kidding?
We'll make sure that's even just the 2 of us on a personal level. We're a team, and that's something I have really cherished. Is not only is he my soulmate but he's my partner in life. He's my partner in crime. We have just as much fun together as just as much trouble.
Now, how long have you 2 actually been together?
We've known each other we've brushed each other in American Idol events, but we actually didn't get to really know each other.
Wait, define brushed.
Well, because there's so many.
Yeah,
sorry, I know.
Brushed.
I
did her hair, she did mine. No, it was.
It's when you do these idol events, they put so many of you together at these huge things,
sure.
and so you end up meeting and befriending a few, of course.
Right.
You do a cordial hello.
But then there's a lot of hi, nice to meet you. Oh, okay. And then so we brushed past each other at an idol event.
Was there electricity? Was there a moment?
There was purple hair.
I had purple hair. Mm-hmm. He was in another relationship. Like we were just on 2 completely different paths. Of life.
Sure.
And a year later, to the day, we had our first rehearsal of Hair, where we had to play boyfriend and girlfriend.
We did the revival of Hair on Broadway, and I was Berger, she was Sheila, and it was it was day 1, and that's when we actually first really got to know each other.
Yeah.
And the director walked up to us on the first day and said, "Okay, well, you 2 are going to have to make out a lot in the show, so just get it over with." And we're like, "Wait, what?" And she's like, "Okay, yeah, just go ahead and kiss." We're like, Oh, okay.
Yeah. So in front of the whole cast.
The whole cast.
Like 30 people plus the production. We got to make out and we got paid for it. It was awesome.
Great.
That was actually, that was the moment. Yeah.
That was the moment. Yeah. So you got paid for it.
Yeah, exactly.
And you got the electricity and the bells and everything went off in your head.
And we made one heck of a show.
Yeah.
The chemistry was real.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow. That is so exciting.
Thank you.
I really love that you 2 seem to have the communication that I can tell you is important in a marriage. As you hear people say this, but it is so true. And the fact that you're each other's best friends, I think that is so awesome. Don't lose that, because no matter how busy the 2 of you get, you do understand that the dating, even when the kids come along and life starts to change, is going to become super important.
Totally.
And that's what we even just have to remind ourselves even now, because yes, we're working together and we get to spend so much time together, but we joke that sometimes we could spend 24 hours together but not be with one another.
Not look at each other in the eyes.
You're running around, and so we've even especially leading up to the wedding, because there's a lot to do.
Weddings can turn you upside down. Yeah. So don't forget to take time to make a date at least once a week. I know you're spending 24/7 together, but you still have to remember to make something special.
Yeah.
Because what happens is you get into a routine, and the routine becomes, not that it's not still romantic and fun, but the routine is what gets you into trouble. Mm-hmm. So you still have to work. My husband and I spend so much time together too. And we spend a lot of time on the plane together and doing those types of things. So we have to stop every now and then and just say, grab the hand and just take a look into each other's eye and remind each other of why it's so important to be together. Mm-hmm. Meet them at a drink, with a drink, at the door, even if it's a hotel room. Yeah. That's the thing. People would say, you travel, how do you make it romantic? You got to still remember that when you're in the hotel, there's a minibar.
Yeah, right?
So just, grab a glass, turn on some music, and just stop and start your day that way. With coffee, and then maybe at the end of the day.
Yeah, of course.
And don't do it in sweatpants.
No,
yes.
We're all about seduction here.
A little mystery and seduction.
Although something tells me you look really cute in sweatpants.
Oh, well, thank you.
It's all depending on the sweats.
Exactly.
No, I mean, I rock the sweatpants.
You do.
Well, it all depends on how you rock them.
Yeah, true.
Always a little lip gloss, a little liner. I always tell everybody it takes 2 seconds, put a little blush, just add a little bit.
I think I'd look all right like that.
My joke is that I love, one of the things I love that Ace has bad eyes, because in the morning he can't see me for the first 30 minutes, so I have just enough time to kind of zhuzh myself and roll over and be like, oh, hi, good morning.
We call that the first love hair.
Exactly.
When you sneak out and you put a little rouge on and you go, oh, I woke up like this.
That's awesome.
I look like a soap opera star.
That's right. Speaking of soap operas, how was your whole little time on The Young and the Restless?
Amazing.
Did you enjoy it?
I had a blast. Every person, from the production to the crew to, of course, the cast, wonderful.
Wow.
And I learned so much.
It's intense. People do not realize how tough it is. I did a little thing on Santa Barbara. Many years, you won't even know what that is. They're going, Santa Barbara?
A year ago.
Isn't that a city?
It was 1 year ago.
It was a soap. It is a soap that is no longer on the air.
Nice.
That's how old I am. So, I understand they would send the script late at night, and you'd get all these pages, and
then
next
you get
morning,
changes
and blocking. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's stressful.
It is. Yes. And when I was doing that, I was working so hard, and Ace was, oh my gosh, amazingly supportive of reading lines with me and making sure that I had my lunch made, because I was that girl that took my lunch to work. I was like a kid going to school, and one time, even 1 week, my car broke down, and it was his birthday, and he was still getting up that whole week, driving me at the crack of dawn, and then coming back and picking me up, driving through all the LA traffic.
That's awesome.
No, and then at the end of the week, when I was exhausted, because it was like my first week of every day shooting, I was exhausted, and I came home, and he said, hey, guess what? He picks me up in my car. He's like, your car's fixed. And I was like, oh, thank you. And all weepy because I was sleepy, and I come in and I see flowers. I was like, you bought me flowers, and just instantaneously crying. And so he was a huge help on the show, helping me. We ended up actually writing the last song for my character together, because the crew and the show fell in love with Ace just as much as I have, of course.
Can you just maybe do a little bit of that right now?
I haven't sung it in like a year.
Please, with your voice.
I gotta think how it goes. Oh my gosh, I just had
I bet he can help you.
This is our goodbye. Been coming around for some time. We gotta let go of the lies. We gotta move on with our lives. This is our goodbye. But it's never a goodbye.
Oh my gosh, look at my arms. Goosebumps. You guys gave me goosebumps.
It was fun because we got to do it together. We got to produce it and write it, and it was also the character leaving the show to go to LA to be famous, and it was like her saying goodbye to everybody within that family, and it was really a beautiful way to step off the show but still be available for it. Yeah. It was awesome.
Well, if you just joined me, I've got Diana DeGarmo and Ace Young. If you two ever have a rough patch, which I don't think you will, but if you ever have a tense moment, just turn to each other and sing. You know, because nothing is ever too big. Nothing is ever so important that you can't stop and remember. The electricity that you two have. I mean, the goosebumps just stood on my arms. Of course, the talent, you know, that doesn't hurt. But it's the electricity that's coming through the two of you that's so awesome.
Thank you.
That is so special.
No, we've been writing a lot. We actually had a song for our first dance, and it was going to be Till There Was You. Okay. So the birds on the hill, but I never saw them winging.
Not the Beatles version, the original version.
Before the Beatles covered it. Because my grandpa played saxophone in the big bands out here when he was growing up, and when he passed, I was like, it'd be kind of cool just to have that and rock it. And while we were writing in the studio, we ended up writing a song that while editing, both of us not looking at each other, I was editing and she's sitting right next to me, and we're both choked up during the listening to the recording that we were editing the vocals on, and we look at each other and we've got tears in our eyes, and Diana goes, I think this beat the other one for our first song, and I said, yeah.
Oh. So in, you know, us working together, quote unquote, writing, because we've been trying to write songs, new duets for the new 2013, because there are not very many out there, and
exactly.
And we ended up writing the song for our first dance.
That is so awesome.
So that way we don't have to sing it, because that'll be hard to do. We can actually play a full-on recording. We get to dance, so we're going to dance on our first dance.
Because it's really hard to sing when you're crying. Like, it's almost nearly impossible.
I can't imagine.
Yeah.
And I know we're going to have just a town of waterworks at this whole thing. I mean, it'll be the first time my brother's coming back from Afghanistan to walk me down the aisle, and he's going to be in his dress blues. And
my gosh.
My mom's going to see both of her kids together. His mom's going to see all 5 of her boys.
This is a movie in itself.
As the groomsmen.
It's going to be amazing.
Be awesome.
And then, you know, you hear an original song, but it's
and
really
a lot of our friends also write and produce, and I don't want them to work. So we're not going to work either. We're all going to have fun and we're going to party.
Letting our hair down.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So we can't wait. It's going to be awesome.
So
and it's also our party. So we told our parents.
That's right. It's your party.
We literally said to my parents and everything, I said, you guys don't have to worry about anything. Just get there.
Yes. They have literally, this has been us planning this event, and we wanted just everyone to come and just have a good time. My mom's, of course, was going, well, wait, do you need me to do it? And they're like, no. Just call this number and get your hotel reserved. And then this is where you'll need to be. You'll have an itinerary. She's got an assistant. His parents, same thing. Everybody's just coming to enjoy the event and to share the love.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I always say that everybody before they get married should plan a major event.
Together.
Together, or build a house.
Yeah.
You know, because it seems like you two, your teamwork is so fabulous.
We love it.
We truly do. I am
it's
so excited for the two of you. Now, you've teamed up for something else.
We have. Planet 360.
Planet 360.
On,
Tell me
Hallmark
about
Movie
it.
Channel. Well, there's a funny thing to our lives, and you know the exact same thing is that we see a lot of things that people in Middle America don't understand. We get to see behind the carpet. We get to see behind that little velvet rope. We get to hang out in the trailers while people are making movies because they're our friend and they happen to be in a movie.
Or we're in them.
Oh yeah,
right.
Exactly.
Or you're in them.
Yes. And with that, it's amazing how many questions we're asked on a daily basis about the behind the scenes of everything that we're doing. Obviously, they know the what how with what we're doing because that's the press release.
Sure.
But the behind the scenes is something that people really want to know about.
It's just as exciting.
So with our show, Planet 360 is it's a behind the scenes look at entertainment, and it's a weekly pop culture show for Middle America via Hallmark Movie Channel.
Kind of giving, entertainment from every angle.
Everything.
Literally a complete 360 degrees. We get you in front of the camera, behind the camera, and everywhere in between.
Very first interview we had for our first episode was with Don Cheadle and the House of Lies cast.
He's awesome.
In Vegas.
Yeah, no
They're
pressure.
all awesome. Right?
Literally,
No pressure.
before we go there, I'm looking up Don Cheadle's his resume, and he's from Denver, where I'm from. He went to East, one of my competitive high schools in sports.
Wow.
He literally, we had so many things in common, and on top of that, I've looked up to his work for years on end. So that was the first night of our first episode, and I was having trouble sleeping because I was excited for the interview. Whereas most people are like, I'm nervous for the first show. I was like, I can't believe I'm going to interview Don Cheadle. Are you kidding me?
I know you both couldn't sleep last night coming here, right?
We actually
didn't.
We actually didn't.
We were up really late. I was like, why am I so excited?
and we have some questions for you later.
Yeah.
But we're excited to ask you some questions to help us Yes, individually, not so that she hears mine.
I can't hear his questions. Dang it.
Oh, well, I'm so excited for you guys.
Thank you.
And I hope that you'll come back and, different times throughout your relationship and check in with us.
Oh, we'd love to.
And let my listeners, find out, little checkup. How's it going? Any issues we can talk about here. Not that you'll ever have.
That'd be awesome.
Hey, no matter what, I think every couple, you have just the daily issues and sometimes some that end up growing to be bigger. And
sure.
Both of my parents were married multiple times, and his parents have been together almost 50 years. Wow. So it's been amazing kind of coming into a relationship with two people with very different backgrounds on relationships, and like you said, communication has been our biggest thing, because even when we know we kind of get grouchy with one another and we both go, okay, what are you thinking right now, and what are you thinking right now, and the next thing is like, blah, 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 blah. Oh, and now we're great, okay, moving forward.
Most often it's you're irritated because you don't get the time that you want with the other person. Sure. So so many things that don't matter become the argument, but it's really just like, I just want to hang out. Right. And we haven't done it for a while, so that's why I'm freaking out about something totally different.
It's feeling that connectedness that's so important.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, it's romance in the house. I'm with Diana DeGarmo and Ace Young.
I've learned via other relationships, just growing up, even as a teenager, a lot of people, when they get in an argument, they leave each other to figure it out alone, and that's not the way to have a unit, to have something that you share together. So if you need to leave the person to figure out the situation, then it's probably not the right person. No. Or you're not the right person for a relationship. But it's something that I've taught myself, and through years, you have to stay in the ring. Like, you got to stay there to figure it out together. Otherwise, you're going to get other people. You got to do it again as your bestie, and your other person, your person in your relationship, is going to be jealous of them because you go get a beer with them every time you have a problem in your relationship.
No, I know. And you mentioned your parents had been married multiple times. I want to just tell you, do not let that define you. And when I say that, your parents had to go through what they had to go through because that was the path they were supposed to take. One of the most freeing things I ever heard in my life for my own self, because I had been through a lot. It took me till 45 to find my love. But was honestly the saying that give up the belief that the past could be any different than it was. And your past, your childhood, was exactly the way it was supposed to be, because now you can look at this wonderful man and appreciate him and know what it takes to have a really wonderful connected relationship. So I always tell people, don't let the past define you. Now just embrace who you are. Let it catapult you, not hold you down. And clearly it hasn't. Clearly it hasn't.
Well, thank you. I completely agree 1,000%. And I've been very lucky that it has made me notice how fantastic it was the moment I kissed those.
Well, you two just take care of each other, and please come back because we love you both here.
Thank you.
We cannot wait to get our hands on the new record.
Thank you.
I call it a record.
Thank you.
No,
it's like, it is. My husband distributes music out there, and he distributes physical music. So at Walmart's and the Best Buys and all of that. So I still call it a record.
That's awesome.
And I still like to hold those CDs.
We do too.
I like the picture inserts.
Yeah. Where are those going in the air, It's like, so buy those online. CDs out there.
Exactly.
Especially. Anyways, come back, okay, you
we
guys?
Will. Anytime.
Anytime.
Thank you so much.
Good luck.
Thank you.
We'll be right back.